Clive Efford.
Thank you, Ms McDonough, and I think this is the first time I've spoken in a debate with you in the chair, so it's a pleasure to see you in your place. Ms McDonough, what we've got to do in this debate is listen to fans, because the fans that we are talking about are those that commit themselves, passionately to their club. They give up their time, they go to the matches, they are the ones that create the atmosphere within the grounds that make British football, the football in the British Isles, such a brand that is so popular across the globe, and people are prepared to pay money to watch the English Football League and English football matches and British football clubs because they are of the atmosphere that is created in the ground by those fans. Imagine if those games were played in empty stadia then were broadcast around the world. They would not be as attractive as they are. So these fans are incredibly important to the future of our football game, and we need to listen to them. And it is the ones that go to the away games as well that make that extra commitment that we're particularly speaking about today, because they are the ones who predominantly do stand. Whenever I go to an away game, I'm a Millwall season ticket holder. I don't have to stand when we're at home games, but there are large sections of the ground that do. But when I go to an away game, I have to stand. And if there is anyone who wants to go to an away game, who can't stand or doesn't want to stand, they are discriminated against because they have no choice. If they do want to go to the game, they will have to stand. So what about those fans? So we need to create these designated areas. And I want to pay tribute to the Football Supporters Federation and the Supporters Direct for their persistent campaigning to get recognition to the voice of fans. And this is not about recreating areas where clubs can cram people in to a standing area. This is about creating rail seating where someone will stand in the place of a seat. And therefore we can designate areas where people who choose to stand can do so safely, and those that want to sit can do without the interference of those who want to stand. So the question that we've got to ask ourselves is the current situation safe, where people go and stand in areas that are designed for seating? And the answer to that is clearly no. So if the answer to that is no, then the next question has got to be to the Minister, what are we going to do about it? So because I've got to say to her, the government cannot continue to put the telescope to the blind eye and say, I see no fans standing, because they are. And they are standing in areas that are dangerous and not designed for standing, and we should be dealing with that. Now, overwhelmingly, when fans have been asked whether they want to stand, they have said that in large numbers that they do. I mean, Middlesbrough, over 3,000 fans consulted, 99% of them said they wanted to stand. Arsenal supporters, over 7,000 of them consulted, 96% said they wanted to stand. Overwhelming majority for Spirit of Shankly, who consulted 20,000 of their fans. So consistently, right throughout the Football League, fans are telling us that they want to stand in safe areas. Now, I think that the Minister could allow a relaxing of the regulations, which would enable safe rail seating to be introduced in grounds. So where there are games where the regulations demand that fans have to have a seat, those seats can be put down and that becomes a seating stadium. But in those games where an area is designated for standing, those seats can be locked back by the ground staff and they can be used for standing. I don't see why we can't designate areas where we've consulted with the local authority, the grounds safety authority, the police and the fans and the local club, and created safe areas for where fans can stand. I do not see why we cannot relax the regulations and do that to deal with a situation that is currently unsafe. Now, the Minister said in answer to some questions very helpfully last week that she was looking to hold a fundamental review of safety within football stadia. But over the weekend, we heard rumours about Number 10 pushing back against that. So can we have an assurance from her that that didn't happen over the weekend, and that we are going to get a full fundamental review of safe standing in football stadia.